Hi, how are you? How are you guys doing? um, I have some stuff I need to talk about, and I kind of want this message to live separate from just a monthly update video because um, I hope that doing it this way will have some more people hearing it. I want to talk about the content and where it's been and where it's going and how I feel about all that. So let's just get into it. um, Firstly, I want to say that I never thought I would make anything as ambitious as inversion. Um, I've talked about in the past, but I mean, for those who might not know, when I created this channel, I didn't have a set goal in mind. Nothing was really set in stone. I didn't have any particular overarching design in mind. I didn't know if I was going to make one-offs or series or if they'd all exist in the same world or if I'd have a lot of different worlds. I was just playing it by ear, making stuff that I wanted to make, challenging myself to try new things and write and record things that in some cases were outside of my comfort zone, and that's worked really well. I'm super proud of this channel and everything on it. And as time went on and I decided to continue trying to challenge myself, that led to crossovers, little ones at first, and then bigger and bigger ones until, eventually you end up with inversion, this insanely big crossover. I've got a couple of points here, and I'm just gonna start going through each of them. Point one, I pushed myself harder than I should have over the last few months. I made more content than I had the time or emotional bandwidth to create in that span of time. I fell into that trap of feeling like I have to outdo myself every time, or what I'm doing isn't worth doing. If Halloween 2020 was a week of content, then Halloween 2021 needed to be a month of it. If Hot Boy Summer was 6 or 7 videos or whatever, then Hot Boy Winter needs to be 12, I think it was. If the cost was big back in the day, then game day needs to be huge. That's not a good way to look at things. That's not a sustainable way to make content. I know that. I mean, I knew it then too, honestly. But that wasn't enough to stop me because I wanted to see if I could do it. And I did. And I'm genuinely proud of the results, but that still doesn't mean it was the best thing to do, because it wasn't. Yeah. Point two, I made more stuff than I should have because, believe it or not, I was trying to not drag out the dark stuff that's taken over this channel lately. Well, to just kind of go through it. I mean, like, let's just go step by step. How we got here. Picture it, September 2021. I had already made announcements and videos and even merch that said that the Elemental and Energetic Games were going to take place in 2021. Cool. We're only in September. We got plenty of time. No worries. I got this. Except I didn't. What was going to be another week of Halloween content in 2021, I decided needed to get blown up to a full month, which creatively was a lot of fun. But making the Imperium last all month really set all of this in motion, and not in a good way. Once I knew that the Imperium was going to basically put all the other plot lines on hold for a full month, I decided that I needed to make progress on the long-running series that hadn't been touched in a while. So we got like 2 videos for Elliot and the Balance. We got 2 videos for Project Meridian, and we actually got 3 videos for Sam. And all of those plots were sitting at kind of dark spots, and now you get 7 videos of that back to back to back to back, basically. And then it's time for the Imperium, which is a full month of dark, heavy shit. Shit that I did enjoy making and that I'm happy with, but that put every canon plotline on hold and was dark and heavy, and I didn't want that taste to linger in everyone's mouths, so I made the after fluff to kind of course correct from that. But then I'm like looking at the calendar, and it's filling up, and after everything with the Imperium, I was tired. So yeah, the after fluff ended up only being 5 videos, and I was looking at the calendar and trying to plan out how to make all these plots get where I needed them before New Year's, and that meant I needed to make the qualifier arc immediately. So we went straight into that. 5 more back-to-back videos. But they were also like positive, which was good. And after that, I got to do some fun stuff to finish out November. We had Friendsgiving. Sam had his like love confession. I think that was when I made Jordy. So there was some upbeat stuff there. but then it was December, and I knew I wanted to have the solstice be with the pack again, and I really wanted to do another Hot Boy season, but I also needed to do the game day arc because I'd already put all over the place that it took place in 2021, and even though my release dates often don't line up with the canon date, it really felt like it was important to get it done in 2021. Maybe that's stupid, but that's me. um, and I knew that game day ended in inversion, and we were still coming off the back of the Imperium, and I wanted I wanted happy, comforting content on my fucking channel, so I decided to answer that voice in my head that tells me that every sequel needs to be bigger, and combine that with this, desire to get happy content back out there. And the result was having Hot Boy Winter, where I crammed practically every romantic character I had into it so that there was something uplifting for everybody. Because, I mean, you all didn't know it, but I knew things were about to get heavy. Very heavy, and they were going to have to stay that way for a while in order to do justice to the actual reality of trauma response, which was really important to me. So Hot Boy Winter became a marathon. A marathon that was then immediately followed up with game day, which I know a lot of people pointed out that some of those episodes felt like they maybe cut off in weird places, or like they're kind of short. And the truth is, I was at the end of my rope, and I was throwing those things together the day that they were due because I had a deadline that I had set for myself, and I was hell-bent on making it. And I did. And then it was inversion time. And believe me when I say that for as much effort as it took, and even with the heavy tone and themes and all of that, I'm really happy that I made Inversion. It was a story I've been thinking about for quite a while. I mean, I learned so much making it, and I'm really proud of the result. But it was a continuation of that dark turn that the channel has taken that I don't love. I don't want my channel to just be dark stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like conflict. I like stuff that has an edge. I like telling stories that have something to say. But I don't want that to be the only thing that I make. And to be honest and blunt, the way that I've moved all these plots along, not just the people from Inversion, basically everything going on right now, it has now left the channel in a spot where advancing almost any of these plots is going to just go into dark territory. I mean, not permanently, but the next parts of a lot of these stories are still dark or sad, or I mean, I don't know. Dark's just kind of an easy catch-all. Don't take a shot every time I say it, but I'm just gonna keep saying it because it's yeah, it's the easy word. And to be clear, I don't mean that all of these plots are all going to stay dark. I don't think every story needs a happy ending, but I definitely prefer happy endings, both as a consumer and as a creator. But these next installments are heavy, darker shit, and I don't want that to be the only thing that happens around here. And I've painted myself into that corner by stalling a lot of these plot lines until now they're all at cliffhangers that I want to advance, and I'm going to advance. But I mean, if I was to just go down the list and make like the next sequel to every plot line that's hanging out there right now, we'd be looking at just like, I don't know, like another 2 months of just like constant dark shit uploads. And I know that's hard on a lot of viewers. I want to be clear here. I'm emotionally good with making heavy content. And what I mean by that is that like a lot of people very kindly ask or they express concern that making things that are this heavy must weigh on me personally. And I can honestly say it really doesn't for me in the way that they mean. I don't walk around carrying this stuff. They're stories that I'm making, ones that I care about very deeply, but I don't really internalize them in that way. The act of creating things of that nature, it doesn't like wear me down. Where it does start to impact me personally, emotionally, is when I feel like the style of content that's become the norm on this channel isn't the only kind of content I want people to associate this channel with. I know you guys like to joke that I must, like love tormenting you, and that I'm like, sipping your tears and laughing at your panic and your pain and stuff. But I don't. That's not why I make what I make. I mean, I read the comments. I read the stuff you guys write about my work. And I'm honored that this stuff I make in my room with just this fucking microphone can have an impact that is that deeply felt by so many of you. That is literally like the ultimate gift you could give someone who creates things, or at least me, is to know that they have that kind of impact, that people care that much. That's incredible, and I don't take that lightly. I don't make the choices that I make for shock value or because I like watching people agonize over my stories. That's not why I do this. I don't. What I'm trying to get at here is, while I am happy with what I've created and the narratives that I've established and you sent these characters down, I don't like that it has all dogpiled in such a way that for the last 4 or 5 or or 6, I don't even know how many months, probably like 6 months at this point, honestly, that all of that like has dogpiled in such a way that all of that feels so heavy. I don't want you guys to think that's the direction I'm taking this channel. Like, I don't want you to think that that's the only stories I want to tell anymore. I know there are some people that were hoping for another Valen week this year to lighten the mood and be a flashback to a time before all of this happened in universe. And I wanted to make that too. That was originally the plan. But I was tired. I didn't want to put myself through another week of making back-to-back content. And to be honest, the plan after that was just to skip Valentine's Day. Because among other things, like I don't really care about Valentine's Day. I'm not pro or anti Valentine's Day. It's just like a non-issue for me. So I was just like, all right, well, if I'm not going to do Valen Week, I'm just going to let it go by without worrying about it. But day of, I had this idea of making the Blake video, like literally on Valentine's Day, nothing to do with it. Just on that day, the idea for the video came to me, and I don't know, they just do that sometimes. So I sat down and I wrote the whole thing in, I don't know, like 30 minutes or something. And it was still kind of early in the day, and I decided, hey, I can take out some time and I can record it and edit it, and I can actually, probably get this out pretty much on time. Look at that. I'll have a Valentine's Day video after all. Knowing that it wasn't particularly Valentine's Day themed, and that for anyone who knew the whole story behind it, it was actually a dark video, but I figured it was better than nothing. So I put it out there. And don't get me wrong, the reception to it has, been mostly good. But it doesn't feel good now that I look back on it. It feels like it's just more proof that all of my content is going to this dark place all the time, even on Valentine's Day, which, even though it doesn't mean much to me personally, on the channel, that has in the past been, there's only been the 1 year, but the only Valentine's Day we've had before this was a really happy and fun time. And instead, this year, it's the exact opposite. After a really long line of not happy, not fun times. This is just like turned into a rant. Oh god, this is a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Okay. I guess my ultimate point here is that to anyone who feels like my stuff has gone down this really heavy, dark path, I hear you. I completely understand. I agree. It has. What I can say is that it wasn't supposed to all line up like this. This was not the plan, but it's what happened. It's what I let happen, and while I'm going to follow through on what I said in regards to treating the after effects of these events with the honesty that they deserve, which means that, the impacts of this won't just evaporate overnight, because it's really important to me to portray things like this in a way that is genuine and thoughtful and respectful to the those experiences of the people who have lived through things like this. Even with all of that, though, I also want some levity on the channel again. And that kind of leaves me at an impasse, which I guess is point 3. Right now, the 4 main plots that have been put on the back burner by all the stuff that's been going on since October are the Balance storyline, the Project Meridian storyline, Avier's story, and to a lesser extent, Vega's personal storyline. Avier's storyline will be getting an update on Tuesday. I've announced that one already. I'm going to make that one. So that leaves the other 3, all of which are at very low points in their story. So here's my proposal. I want to move those stories along. It's been too long. They need progress. So the current plan is to basically just knock them out. Not back to back to back. I have had my fill of that for a while. But we just finish off February and probably that very little beginning part of March, getting those stories forward a step, even though it's going to be a heavy step. And then we can take some time to just make some more uplifting and comforting and just smaller stories again. I mean, I want to do flashback episodes for a lot of the boys, like last Valentine week, but not done back to back to back. Actually done on a normal release schedule. I want to make some more headway with the happier side of things for a bit, like Jordy's story. And the bigger point, I guess, is that then after that, I want to just do a better job of maintaining a mixture of lighter and heavier stuff, smaller scale and larger scale stories, like I used to. I mean, I don't want to take any steps backward, but I want to have a better mix and a better pace as a channel than I have lately, while still continuing to follow through in a genuine, realistic way on the impacts of everything that's happened in the canon so far. So that's the plan. That was kind of the how we got here. And then this is the where we go from here. I hope that all sounds good. I genuinely don't mean for this to be like a downer or anything like that. I want to stress that in general, I'm happy. Life's going good. Really good right now, actually. Honestly, the channel's doing great too in terms of performance, in terms of quality. And I'm happy with all of those things. I just want to course correct a bit on the mixture of what I make. And I hope you guys like where those efforts take us. And I haven't really talked much about this side of the creative process and the channel before. I do a little bit in the update videos, but I felt like this was a time where it was important that I do. Um, Not just a Discord post or a community post or something, buried in the description of a video that no one reads. um, I wanted to just actually say it and get it all out. So, long story short, too late. Hang in there for just like a handful of more videos. And then we're going to get back into a better balance of styles of content again, like I used to. I promise. I guess I also just want to say thank you guys for your patience and your support and for caring about this world I've come up with so much. It's amazing. Truly, I don't really know the words to say. I feel like I've said them all a million times, but just trying to like express what all this means to me. I feel incredibly lucky to be where I am with the audience that I have. It really is an amazing privilege. And I appreciate you all very much. Thanks.